I'm super excited to align with this man. We've known each other for over a year now. It is Jason White. Jason, welcome to On Purpose.
Ah, thanks for having me, man.
You're
I love the name. I think Austin said the same thing. It's a beautiful, perfect name.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's something that you do very well in your life is I feel like you live every hat that you have with a purpose.
I definitely try.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as a human, I fail often, but yeah, everything needs to have a purpose. Otherwise, what are we doing, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So we've known each other for about a year. Jason is now part of the EXP group, and you have your own team.
I do.
But what I love most about you, and you've went through the coaching program.
Yeah.
For the 6
weeks. Which was awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
I will say that's helped me tremendously. So
good.
Yeah.
Good. And I learned so much about you in that time too, as well as. And one of the things I wanted to share that I love about Jason is he just doesn't worry because he knows that his faith is so grounded and he has such a good foundation that there's no worry there for your movements that you're doing or any kind of new venture. You have no worry. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I wouldn't say there's no worry. I would say worry tends to creep in, but I'm pretty good at fighting it off. And a lot of that comes with, so if you think about the Bible, let's say there was stories in the Bible of what God has done in people's lives, and they were there for a reason. They were to show others what God can do and what he has done. And I have a lot of those stories in my life. Things that God has done that no one else could do, that I even sometimes thought God couldn't even do, but he did. And so when you go through those types of things and you see the outcomes, every trial that you get through, that God puts you through and pulls you through, you tend to not worry about a whole lot after that because you already know the outcome. It's like you may not know how rough the road's going to be to get there, but you already know the outcome. So yeah.
Sure. That's when they say faith is built in the valley.
Absolutely.
Right? Not on the mountaintop.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes. So they say, like you wouldn't enjoy the sunshine as much as if you didn't get some rain every once in a while, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things I just really love about you, and talk a little bit about how you bring your faith and that foundation into your real estate career.
Yeah. So I mean, one is that I always like to point to is just being a light. So someone once said, and it was on a podcast, but if you have a room full of light, no dark can exist. It can't.
Yeah.
But if you have a room full of darkness and the smallest speck of light shows up, everybody sees it. So no matter where you go, if you're a light, you're going to make an impact. But trying to bring that faith into something where you're talking with different people on a daily basis, it's challenging sometimes, but more importantly, it's actually pretty awesome to be able to do that.
Yeah.
To be involved and to put and I got started in real estate because of God's calling. It wasn't something that I was just like, I'm gonna go be a realtor. It was a calling that I fought for about a year and a half before I actually got into real estate. And so it's my mission ground. It's what he gave me to work. And so to be able to pray with homeowners, to be able to serve, to be able to step into a home and know that they have someone that 100% is on their side and my heart is there to just serve them, even if it means walking away from something, as long as they're taken care of, that's 100% what we do.
Which not a lot of agents will say that.
For
sure.
That was part of the calling, the reason why I got into this business.
Yeah.
So.
And how long have you been licensed now?
Almost 7 years now.
7 years.
Yeah.
Doing very well.
7 years in March. So.
What were some of the reasons you came over to EXP?
So, I mean, again, I will say God. That's the number one reason. And there's two main people, and one was you, and the other one's Justin.
Yeah.
And I think being aligned with you two and what you stand for, and knowing the vision you had, was always something that I kind of wished I could transform real estate into. So the fact that God put me in with a vision to kind of transform real estate into what your vision was and what we wanted to accomplish in this community, it was almost like, well, that is where God was training me up to go to begin with. So it just kind of made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so thankful that God put us all in that path. I mean, we all met in Florida, which is really weird. We're all 20, 30 minutes away, but we meet for the first time in Florida.
Yeah.
And
Took us, what, 1,200 miles to
yeah.
meet? Yeah,
It
exactly.
was just really cool how God brings those people together in your life. And Justin is just one of those guys that, I mean, he's just getting started, in my opinion. And he's really, we're all just getting started.
Yeah,
so.
this is and I think that, you know, I've always stood by and believed in not only the law of attraction, but also kind of the snowball down the hill effect. Anytime you start momentum, and I think John Maxwell has an amazing you know, view on that as well. But you start the momentum, and as it builds and builds and builds, it's going to grow, and it's going to start growing exponentially. So very excited for you know, obviously what's to come. And
yeah, and I think I put that on my thing today. Moments create momentum. And that moment in Florida when we met, I just felt like something was unique there. And then this is here now, and I just can't imagine what's going to happen next. Another thing I want to talk about, which I'm going to brag on you a little bit, because that hat that you wear as a husband and a father is something I think that you really shine your light. You're a super great husband, but it didn't come without a lot of work.
That is 100% accurate.
Yeah.
I have not always been a super great husband, let's just put it that way, or a super great father. I would like to think that, you know, obviously as a human, you grow, you learn. The fact is I didn't have, my dad was an awesome man. Don't get me wrong, awesome man. And in a lot of retrospect, he was a great father, but a lot of other places he failed, and you know, as well. And same as me.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have a whole lot to go off of, to be honest with you. When I stepped into, I got married at 22. We had our first child a year later. We knew what we wanted. We wanted to grow a family. I've always wanted a family. But there was a lot of learning curves. And so, you know, I think that going through that, and if you haven't heard the story, we won't get in too depth into it, but you can go to, we got the podcast on my Facebook page, that you can go listen to Amber's and myself, our story there. But I think more importantly, going through that situation with Amber and coming out on the other end, because of what God did through me, and through our marriage, I think changed a whole new perspective of what my kids viewed me as. That was a big part of it. I think that it could have easily went the other way.
Sure.
And if it did, I probably would have been known as a poor husband and father my whole life, to be honest with you. But God gave me an opportunity to change that, and he changed me. And I would like to think that my kids think I'm a great father, and I still fail. Don't get, you know, but
we all do.
Yeah,
we all do.
But I mean, I cherish my family.
Yeah, I can tell.
And knowing that, I mean, I was a blink of an eye away from losing it all. Knowing that I have them now is just, it's every day I wake up and I'm just so grateful. So
and I see that in you every day. So, and I just wanted to point that out and bring that into the open, because that's how I see you.
Well, thank you.
So in the last year, just super excited to have him on this program. He is a man of purpose, and he's on purpose. But reach out to Jason if you just want to get to know him a little better. He's a phenomenal agent. He is a broker, and he's going to be leading a lot of the different charges in our office. And I'm super excited, man. Just super excited.
Hey, listen, I know you're trying to highlight me, but if you want good quality life coaching, and I mean not just real estate coaching, dude, get a hold of Todd. It would change your life. So
I appreciate it. Thank you again for being on.
Thanks, man.